welcome to the 6.5 Summit event. I'm Shelley Kramer, one of the founding partners of Futurum Research, and my team and I here at Futurum and the team at Moor Insight and Strategy welcome you. In this keynote session, featured as part of our cloud track, I am honored to be able to introduce to you Poojan Kuman, the CEO and founder of Clumio. Poojan's going to discuss with us today why SaaS wins for data protection in an all-cloud world. Clumio is the innovator of authentic software as a service for enterprise backup. And as enterprises move more aggressively to the cloud, protecting workloads, mitigating complexities, and managing costs become more and more important. That's where a SaaS solution like Clumio's comes in. I'm really looking forward to what Poojan has to say. I'll bet you are too. Let's get to it.
Hi, I'm Poojan Kuman, co-founder and CEO of Clumio. Today, I'm going to spend some time talking about how SaaS wins in data protection and other use cases in an all-cloud world. Before I go into this presentation, I want to start off by talking about the big transformation that's happening in enterprise industry as a whole. What has happened over the last decade or so is there is a big shift in enterprises from building applications and infrastructure in the private data center to more and more renting compute and services in the public cloud. And whenever, such a big transformation happens, it creates a big discontinuity in the sector. And that discontinuity arises, new companies that come up with new and innovative solutions to come and solve this problem. And the next generation of enterprise companies are going to be companies that are going to be built on top of the public cloud, which is on top of Amazon AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. And they are going to be delivering a service on top of these public cloud vendors. So let's talk about the challenges that companies face as they get into this all-cloud journey. Getting to cloud is going to be a journey, right? So if you look at enterprises around the globe, they have taken different approaches to get to the cloud. For applications that were not proprietary and more horizontal, SaaS was the perfect pick. So enterprises went and started leveraging SaaS services for such applications. For other applications that were more proprietary, you went and essentially took a lift and shift type architecture where you took the application and moved it to the public cloud in a lift and shift manner. In some cases, you took the application and you rewrote some parts of it so that you could leverage platform as a service, which is PaaS on the public cloud. In certain other cases, you essentially, if you had the luxury to rewrite the application completely, you went and did new development on the public cloud. And over time, you optimized that application in the public cloud. So different routes, possible in terms of taking that application that was completely in the data center into kind of leveraging SaaS, leveraging infrastructure as a service during lift and shift, leveraging platform as a service, if you were okay with some form of a lock-in with the public cloud, and then building it natively on the public cloud and kind of optimizing it so that you can use the public cloud the right way. And irrespective of the path you took, you have to be very thoughtful about how you moved into the public cloud. We did a bunch of surveys to kind of figure out where enterprises are in terms of their own journey. And as you can expect, the results were in the entire gamut. There were, data that has moved into SaaS applications out there. There's data still sitting in on-premises data centers because of compliance reasons or because of perception reasons around security. There's data that has moved in applications that have been lifted and shifted into the public cloud. And there's data that is in PaaS data sources in the public cloud or in brand new applications, which we call cloud native applications that were built in the public cloud. So now, as you see this journey leads to data dispersion, right? Data is going to be everywhere versus what it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, where all data was in the data center in the private cloud. Now, this data dispersion leads to many challenges, and one of them is around data protection. So let's look into the challenges that you have as you have this data dispersion. Number one, hidden costs, right? As you start to solve data protection with data in all of these data sources, and you start leveraging, tools that were not really built for the cloud, you start seeing all kinds of hidden costs in terms of egress costs in the public cloud. You start kind of running software that was running in the private data center. You start running it 24/7 in the public cloud, and you start, seeing enormous costs as you start solving data protection. So these are hidden costs that you start seeing because of, solutions that were built for the data center. That's number one. Number two is data vulnerabilities, right? Like in the private data center, you never put your primary data and your backup data in the same storage box. You don't want to do that in the public cloud either, right? And so kind of putting your primary as well as your backup in the form of snapshots in the same account leads to vulnerabilities, because now you're exposed in terms of bad actors, you're exposed in terms of ransomware and other such issues. So you need to worry about data vulnerability because you now want to protect the backup data separate from the primary. Number three, security and compliance. As we saw, right, data is now everywhere. So essentially, you now have to worry about being compliant, and you need to know about all of your data sources and need to make sure that data is indeed secure, irrespective of where it resides. And lastly, it's about complexity, right? You don't want to be in the business of managing a piece of software yourself across many data sources and really kind of doing it yourself. And in the public cloud world, if you don't take a thoughtful approach, you'll be stuck with doing it yourself, which now goes against the whole premise of moving to the cloud. You didn't want to do it yourself. You wanted the data protection and other such services to essentially take care of themselves and really consume services that solve this problem for you. This is where Clumio comes in, where we come and solve this problem in a multi-cloud world. The right way to solve this is, as we said, number one, you want to get rid of hidden costs. So you essentially want to use a service that is built for the public cloud and is built natively on the public cloud. So you're not worried about all kinds of costs that in the form of egress or in the form of software running 24/7. You want to get rid of data vulnerabilities. So you essentially want a platform that can take data away from your primary and save it in an air-gapped fashion away from your primary account. You want a platform that takes security and compliance as a first-class citizen, right? That posture is very important as the platform is built on the public cloud. And lastly, you want to consume a service, right? You don't want to be in the business of managing this yourself. So a platform that's built natively in the public cloud, that's delivered in a multi-cloud fashion, is the solution to all of this. And that's what, Clumio provides. And this is not the first time this has happened. If you look at the history, any use case that has been more horizontal and not proprietary has gone through some form of a SaaSification. Let's take some examples, right? In the form of email and CRM and data warehousing and HR and many more, right? Like in 2020, you would not take a piece of software that does email and essentially, buy a piece of hardware or run this software yourself to have email for your enterprise, or something similar for CRM. You're not going to buy a piece of CRM software and a bunch of hardware or run a piece of CRM software yourself. Similarly, there is no reason to do this in data protection. Like you would consume Microsoft 365 for email, or for that matter, Salesforce for CRM, you want to consume a service to do data protection in this all cloud world also, right? And so that's really what we provide with Clumio. We are providing you a way to essentially do data protection in an all cloud world with a service offering, similar to what Salesforce has done for the CRM space, or Snowflake has done for the data warehousing space, and so on and so forth. And one thing you'll see that every time such a disruption has happened, it has happened because a new vendor has come in with this innovative architecture and delivered this offering. The only exception to this is Microsoft, which made the transition successfully with Microsoft 365. But outside of that, you have had a new vendor come in with this innovative architecture to truly deliver this service on the public cloud. And that's what we do with Clumio, right? It's a single platform that allows you to go after different use cases like VMware, AWS native applications, SaaS like Microsoft 365, and many more that are coming in the future that allow you to have that single platform to have data protection in this all cloud world. So to conclude, I would say that you are in this world where, of a Datadog, where you're going to be using Datadog for monitoring your all cloud apps. You're in the world where you're going to use Snowflake for doing data warehousing in the public cloud. Similarly, you're in the world where you're going to use platform like Clumio to deliver data protection in an all cloud world. Thank you very much.